Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough. And I'm the Captivating Christian. And today we're going to talk about one of those terrible shows that only last one episode, that being Pope Town. Pope Town was made back in 2005, originally intended to air on the BBC, with the creators intending to make a show they call a cross between Father Ted and South Park, both of which I think are really funny shows. It lasted an episode after being cancelled, with several critics calling it horribly offensive. After that, it was kicked off of syndication in New Zealand, Germany, and MTV in America in 2009. And despite having 10 episodes actually fully animated to prepare for a full season of this show, it only lasted one episode everywhere it was aired. This is Pope Town. So I begin in a Catholic school with a teacher who seriously reminds me of Eric Idle, just not as funny.
Lions. Elephants. Peruvian valley pigs.
So apparently this guy is half-tuned because he can master cartoon sound effects like a pro. But then we cut to a kid in the back who's doodling during class as we jump into the show. And oh my god, the CGI looks awful! Seriously, half the time it looks like a crappy early 2000s computer screensaver. And the 2D animation overlapping these makes it even worse. We're a few minutes in and I'm already mad. Introduced to Nicholas, a priest who wears tennis shoes, and Marie, a helping hand around the Vatican. And then we get another problem with the show.
And you've got to get the camel out of the septic tank.
There's a camel in the septic tank? You just said. Oh, never mind. What else?
It never stops talking or making noise. God, it's like the Magic Voyage. It never shuts up. But she tells him that they're actually going to have a group of wheelchair-bound children come to see the Pope in Pope Town. And then we get the opening theme song. And so far, it's the best thing. I mean, why it's a Latin hip-hop beat, that's kind of questionable, but whatever, we're grasping for straws here. And then we see the Pope, and we're given another thing to hate in this show.
Pope, I never seek.
Whatever, Your Holiness.
And the one who finds me eats my sock. Richard.
Groan. It's like a more annoying Steve Urkel. And here's the kicker, folks. The premise describes this Pope as having the mindset of a 5-year-old. The mindset of a 5-year-old, not a literal 5-year-old. And like Chris said, this is painfully annoying. It's like they mixed Cartman and Stewie and they gave him the title of the Pope. And we're never given a backstory to why he is the Pope. I mean, seriously, we could come up with one. I don't know, his dad was the Pope before him, and then he died of a heart attack, and he was next in line. Oh my god, we're only a couple minutes in. So the Pope wants to play hide and seek, and of course he runs off. Meanwhile, we see these cardinals kick back and discuss how they're going to be rolling in money once the handicapped kids come to town.
Well, something has to be done. We have to make some money now.
Wait a minute. Of course, we're forgetting today's Mass with crippled orphans broadcast live to the world.
Maybe it's just me, but I have a weird hunch they're trying to say that the Catholic Church really likes money. I get this is supposed to be satirical, but it feels less like satire and feels like they had some kind of agenda against the Catholics and decided to make this out of spite for the Church. Meanwhile, Nicholas finds the Pope missing, and the wheelchair-bound kids arrive, and then...
Ah, Father what's-his-name?
Oh, hello! New character. Seriously, this show craps out more characters out of its yin-yang. So we get this lady who's a nun and a news anchor. How can you be a nun and have a job as a news anchor? And this is seriously starting to remind me of Rugrats now. Hey, this show's called Pope Town. Can we please see more of the Pope? As much as we don't want to see him, can we please get a little bit more of him?
Oh, quiet, Popey. Can't bother Burp or else they'll find me. Oh, mustn't speak either. Boom!
That just happened. I guess we're done with that scene.
Our song for the Pope.
Sorry kids, hate to admit this, but you're kind of terrible singers. How they do that? Who cares? Animation!
Hello? Oh, Your Holiness. I'm overjoyed to hear your voice. The orphans are waiting to see you. They've composed a song in your honor. Where are you?
Like I'm gonna tell you that, Father No Knickers? This is hide and seek! Anyway, I hate orphan kids.
Knickers, knickers!
It's funny because they're British. Which, actually, wait, come to think of it, the Vatican's in Greece, which is close to Italy, so why does nobody have a Greek accent? So they need to find a replacement pope, and they find one that looks perfectly fine. But
Jackie Cohen, the best Pope impersonator this side of the Bush Belt.
Bravo!
He's Jewish! And yes, he's Jewish, complete with a stereotypical New York accent. But they tell him that he cannot speak a single word on stage.
Hey, not a word.
All right, already, not a word. Not even shalom?
Especially not shalom.
Okay.
Hey, that is anti-Semitic. Oy vey. Okay, when does he speak to them? Yeah, I knew it. Are those Asian stereotypes?
How do you get through life like this, man? This is crazy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Nope! Nope, we're gonna ignore that. Let's not act like that's real. So, like you guessed, he ends up speaking to the people, and they like him, instead of rightfully calling him out as a fake. As for the real Pope, he's kidnapped and forced to make holy wafers. Like I said, they have a hidden grudge towards Catholics. I know it.
It's an absolute scandal. The Pope is muscling in our territory and stealing our jokes. Boy, he's got some chutzpah.
As far as I'm concerned, it just wasn't very funny.
I wonder how people of other religions took this show.
What did you make me just watch?
That's just horrible. Terrible. Why would you do that? This isn't that funny.
Live action? Or is it a cartoon? I really don't know.
And you could tell that that Brooklyn accent is so fake. I mean, seriously, you're not fooling anybody with that.
The Pope is a child. Why on earth would you make a Pope a child? It's ghastly.
Wow. That's horrible. Why would you do that? You know, I guess the stereotype about Jewish people being really funny is kind of a fake stereotype. Clearly not all of us are funny. I'm done. They offended me personally. I'm done. Screw this crap. I'm done.
And that beginning, that whole intro, are they trying to be hip?
The show's terrible. The horrible. Terrible. Why? Why would you do that?
Anyway, the cardinals discuss to Nicholas about the new pope and his success. How? And how they're talking about putting him on the road. And back with the real pope, he...
No, forget it. We'll find our own way out. Honestly, it's fine.
Pope Town. Hilarious cartoon shenanigans, witty satire, and brutal murder in cold blood. Anyway, the new pope and Nicholas talk outside, relaxing. You guys realize that they also do, you know, I don't know, a little thing called paperwork over at the Vatican. As the real pope shows up.
Hey, you must be the real me. How do you do, Jackie Cohen?
Pope Town. Hilarious. Oh, no, don't milk the joke. And as the Pope shows up, ready to brutally murder Nicholas, this happens.
Well, you could do that, or we could have fish fingers.
Fish fingers? Fish fingers? We're gonna have fish fingers. You said so, didn't you?
That's right.
Fish fingers.
Yes, fish fingers. Yes, lots and lots of fish fingers.
Fish fingers, huh? You don't offer me something, huh?
And that's how they end it. Yes. That was terrible. Now, there's a reason this show never hit the airwaves. This show has horrible animation, which when you look at it kind of looks like Oblongs, which is a great show. The distracting CGI backgrounds doesn't help, the unlikable characters are obnoxious to sit through, and the quote-unquote satire, which is not clever in the slightest, and makes it feel like the people who made the show were trying to make fun of Catholics and say that they were money grubbing. Screw this show. My advice? Watch Dogma. It's a lot smarter and it's a way better satire of Catholicism than this stupid pilot was. Although, that makes me wonder, if this show was pulled off after one episode for being quote-unquote offensive, which it is, why is it that shows like this got pulled, and yet shows like Brickleberry and Mr. Pickles are still running? I don't know what those shows are. Whatever, Chris. I'm the Media Whiz, because Warrant Form wasn't enough. And I'm the Captivating Christian. May Jesus be with you.
Like fire!
not to blame. It is the gypsy girl, the witch who set this flame.